done 2,261 sketchbook images to date. They've all been in these sketchbooks. I think I filled 2 to date. 2,261 sketchbook images was really developed for 12 concepts, which ultimately became 4 final options and ultimately 1 choice. And the choice was called Folding Light. And it's concept 5. And the organization and the group unanimously accepted this idea and felt like it truly did represent the aspirations of the institution. The ground level is education spaces primarily. All of the classrooms are here for the most part and there's a lobby and the dock areas and art storage. The second floor is the exhibit spaces, and the exhibit spaces are unique in that there is 8,000 square feet of exhibit spaces that have the ability to be small spaces and large spaces. They can be subdivided, if you will. Also on the second level, we have some outdoor decks. In fact, there are 5 outdoor decks that are around the building, which is just such a special thing. We all know that in Oklahoma, if you can find a little bit of shade and an opportunity to catch a little bit of a breeze, being outdoors is a good thing. And so we've literally planned these outdoor decks to accomplish those kinds of things. The third floor is a truly unique element in that it includes a black box theater, which has 30-foot ceilings. It also includes a dance studio. And the nice thing about that is that both of these have a floor plate big enough to be able to duplicate the footprint, the usable footprint at the Civic Center for both dance rehearsals as well as for the black box dramatic setting, if you will. And that's a very special thing because you can actually do rehearsals in this building for the Civic Center. The fourth floor has administrative offices, and it has a very cool VIP catwalk and seating area that overlooks the black box. Weather and climate's a very important part of our life and our livelihood. It would be impossible to ignore the quality of light that we have, the sky, and all of those kinds of things. And if there was one thing that we could say universally identifies and determines who we are, I think it would have to have something to do with Oklahoma's light. The idea has been all along that Chris felt like that we needed an arts campus. There is a need to do all kinds of things in our community that brings the arts groups together. Instead of them being independent of one another, they could still be independent, but perhaps on one campus setting. The Folding Light is the primary building in this particular campus. We have a 1920s warehouse building that was built along the railroad track, which is very interesting. There are wonderful big steel doors that were accessible from the railroad. We have the temporary showroom building, which is there as a landmark while we are underway with the existing building. And then we have opportunities on this site to be able to do additional buildings as time moves on. So there's likely to be other artistic and arts-related buildings and projects to come onto this site. And the skin itself does not keep the weather out. The weather is actually controlled by the surface behind the skin. And so the waterproofing is actually behind the skin. The skin itself is truly that. It is its surface. It is its personality. And so what it allows us to do was to do a system that was completely custom. We're going to have it made in Oklahoma City, which I'm really proud of, by some really talented craftsmen. And it gives this building the opportunity to change moment by moment, just as the light in Oklahoma does. A number of sites were considered. I think there was a very clear appreciation for the fact that Oklahoma Contemporary could help define downtown. And the notion that it could be the northern gateway into downtown Oklahoma City was irresistible. The idea that we could have some vertical height, the idea that we could not only be visible but have vision to other parts, whether it's the Capitol or whether it's Devon Tower. And so this is really the new northern gateway into downtown, and it's a very exciting thing. I think it speaks to this notion of where our values are in the community, and that as people come downtown for ball games or for the arts festival or any number of things, they will pass through this sort of threshold that introduces the arts to them as they come into our community.